All right, what's going on, my pink brony bros? I'm gonna keep on fapping at the Pink Brony Club. Pink Brony Club. All right, what's going on, everybody? It is your host, Michael Garza, 4-3. Give me one moment, everybody. Getting a couple things set up. Annie, what's going on? It's good to see you. The Pink Brony Bros. We're going to keep on fapping at the Pink Brony Club. It's good to see everybody. All right, so just in, key details in the U.S.-Iran peace proposal. Interesting. Give me a moment, though. I got to set up one thing on this end. Hold on. But it's good to see you, Annie. We always love it when Annie's in the house. Amazing. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Now, 1. Nothing wrong with me. 2. Nothing wrong with me. 3. Nothing wrong with me. 4. Nothing wrong with me. All right, here we go. Just in, dude.
Legendary epic fury will be at an end, and the highly effective blockade will allow the Hormuz Strait to be open to all, including Iran. If they don't agree, the bombing starts. And the blockade will remain in full force and effect. Project Freedom, the movement of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, will be paused for a short period of time. Secretary of State Rubio with this on the military phase of the war. He said this late yesterday.
Their missile launching capability has been substantially degraded, and their industrial base, their defense industrial base, has been severely, severely damaged. So their ability to build a shield behind which they could hide their nuclear program was wiped out. That's a very substantial achievement, and that was the purpose of this operation from day one.
Dude, Marco Rubio is a freaking top G. He's a top G. Amazing dude. I love Marco Rubio.
Nuclear material in order for this war to end.
Well, that's one of the topics that needs to be discussed. I don't know about, I think you're linking it. The operation is over. Epic Fury, as the president notified Congress, we're done with that stage of it. Operation.
Now it's Operation Peacetime because they've already pretty much decimated the entire military. Thank you, Annie, for sharing the stream. I really appreciate it. If you guys can, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Once again, actually, if you guys can, just double tap your screen to like the stream. We're trying to get to 100 likes in 30 minutes. Once again, we're trying to get to 100 likes in 30 minutes. So don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it fresh. Got to keep our mussies tight. Hell yeah.
Epic Fury is concluded. We achieved the objectives of that operation. I'm not going to, we're not cheering for an additional situation to occur. We would prefer the path of peace. What the president would prefer is a deal.
Retired 4-star Air Force General Charles Wald will be with me in moments. First, let's go to Peter Doocy at the White House, where the news is moving.
Peter Doocy, dude. Sexy man. Sexy. Okay. Peter Doocy's a little effeminate, but whatever. He's okay. He's all right.
Very fast. Peter.
Very fast, Harris, and you were just talking about this. We've got the details of this 14-point plan according to...
They got a 14-point plan. Dude, here's the thing. This peace plan better work. And when I say work, I don't know who came up with it, America or whoever. But I am so sick of mother effing Iran. Iran, just realize that you're not going to have nuclear ambitions in the future because you're too crazy.
To Axios. Under the banner, U.S. and Iran closing in on one-page memo to end the war. We've got these. A 5-year ban on nuclear enrichment, which would be less than the 20-year ban President Trump previously said he didn't like. There would be limits of 4% enrichment after that. There would be a ban on underground nuclear facilities, a vow to...
Yes. If there is even one chance. Yep. 4% after that, absolutely. Ban underground nuclear facilities. Faux shizzle. That's good. Vow to never seek a nuclear weapon. Commitment to enhanced nuclear inspections. End to restrictions travel through the strait. Yep. I would not travel to Iran if I were you guys. Do not ever travel to Iran. I don't even know why people want to go to the Middle East, quite frankly. I don't get it. Like, I sincerely do not understand. Like, what is so great about the Middle East? Can somebody explain that to me, please? What is so great about the Middle East? Just tell me. I'm trying to figure it out, Brony. What's up, Hero? Nah, Trump's the man. I know you don't support Trump, but Trump's the man. U.S. is winning this war. Rockin' Killer says Axios is known to not fact check. Well, here's the thing. Just because Axios is right on this doesn't mean that they don't fact check. And here's the thing. They check the facts. They check the data at the time. So, you know who doesn't fact check? Most of mainstream media doesn't give two shits about what the facts are. We've been lied to by the mainstream media so often. And now I'm watching Fox News. I get it. That is mainstream media, and I'm not a big fan of them. But out of all the devils, I'll choose Fox News.
Never seek a nuclear weapon, commitment to enhanced nuclear inspections, and an end to restrictions on travel through the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump, though, is telling the New York Post it's too soon right now to schedule a new round of in-person talks with Iran. So this is a very high-stakes game of telephone, still led by Steve Witkoff and Jared
Hot.
Kushner.
I'm not sure it's going to be one, but if there's a real diplomatic path and we continue to explore it, Steve and Jared are working on that very hard. If there is one there, it could be one that leads them to reconstruction, to prosperity, and to stability, and to not posing a threat to the world. The alternative is growing isolation, economic collapse, and
here's the thing, man. The current regime in Iran needs to be toppled, and I hope the people of Iran are able to topple it. That's all I'm saying.
Ultimately, total defeat.
We don't know how many Iranian leaders who ordered protesters a couple months ago.
Don't forget to double tap the screen to like the stream. It really does help the channel in a lot of ways. Please double tap your screen. It helps us. We're trying to get to 100 likes in 30 minutes. Once again, we're trying to get to 100 likes in 30 minutes. So double tap your screen to like the stream.
Murdered are still there, but a separate piece of this puzzle is avoiding future slaughter of protesters by arming them.
Do you plan to arm them soon?
Well, I don't want to say that, but yeah, people say, why aren't they protesting? They want to protest, but they don't have any guns. So you could have 200,000 people protesting and have 5 or 6 sick people with guns.
Yep.
And when they start shooting them right between the eyes.
And Reuters is reporting in a bulletin that just crossed that the Israelis did not know folks here at the White House were so close to a deal, if that is in fact where we are, so close to a deal. So the Israelis had been preparing to ramp fighting up with Iran until this morning. Harris.
Yeah, I'm looking at that Reuters right now. That seems very significant that they didn't know, because in the beginning it was the Roaring Lion operation and Epic Fury. Epic Fury now, State Secretary Rubio told us, is over. Your last quick one.
Yes, remember, Netanyahu and Trump were here at the beginning. Everything was happening together. So it seems like at the end, they are not necessarily coordinating as closely.
Peter Doocy, getting us started. I appreciate you. Thank you. In focus now, retired 4-star Air Force General Charles Wald, former deputy.
Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. The more subscribers we get, the better. But yeah, once again, do not forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
Commander of U.S. European Command. Sir, great to have you. I want to start with that bit of news, with Israel and the United States maybe not being yoked as they were at the beginning of the war. Your reaction?
I'd be pretty surprised if the Israelis and the United States aren't in pretty much lockstep. I mean, you hear things in public, but there's a lot of discussion going on. Our main issue in the Middle East, frankly, besides the fact that Iran is so provocative, is the security of Israel and our GCC friends. And I think we need to stick with that. We won't, I don't think we'll waver from that. And that'll be the end state.
Look, it feels like, and we'll set just aside what happened today for a second. When Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that Operation Epic Fury yesterday was over, we could get a sense, and that's why you saw reporters really leaning in with questions on that, that perhaps something was on the horizon, and now word of a one-page deal. I want to get your direct thoughts on the strategy that has gotten us here in the last 24 hours.
And look, I think it's a good strategy what's been utilized. I think what Rubio and Trump are doing are fantabulous, you know. Look, I'm a huge fan, dude. I'm a huge fan. I love what Trump's doing. I love what Rubio's doing. I love what Rubio's saying. I love what Pete Hegseth has been saying. I love what the military's been doing, man. We're basically making Iran weak. The weaker Iran is, the better. Just the better, you know.
Well, I think from my perspective, there's two things. One is the security of our friends, Israel, I mentioned, and the GCC countries in the Middle East. That's paramount. And then number two is for the Iranians not to have a nuclear capability. They're associated, but they're somewhat separate. And I think both of those are objectives of the United States. I mean, we will never let, I thought Secretary Rubio did a super job yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I think he explained it very well. And names, you know, Epic Fury, Project Freedom, you name it. Those are interesting names, but the end state for us is a secure Middle East that isn't threatened by Iran.
Do you think we can move the ball on Iran with the nuclear?
Oh, shit. We got Mr. TJ. TJ is saying he's about to walk into Walmart or something. Oh, that's great. Mr. TJ in the house. It's good to see you, bro. Hell yeah. Get into Walmart, bro. Walmart is scary, brother. Oh, man. Some of the things you see in Walmart, man, I would not want to shop at a Walmart in a bigger city. Oh, that's all right, brother. That's all right. We got TJ in the house, though. Shit, it's okay. I got multiple YouTube accounts too, so it's no big deal. Not too many though. Like 3 or something. They're basically other channels that I tried to create, but they're kind of failed channels. I might try to expand upon those channels though. I'll see. I'll see what I'd end up doing. But yeah, it's good to see you, Mr. TJ, our boy, shaboy. What up? Just to let you guys know, I went to the dark side and decided to start getting more involved on TikTok. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers on TikTok, so feel free to follow me, tiktok.com/@realgarza. Once again, tiktok.com/@realgarza. I'm pretty much just making ridiculous short videos on TikTok where I do a lot of gee stuff. So, you know, yeah, I'm not proud of it.
Capability that they have. Not a lot of it above 60% enriched uranium, but they're moving toward that weapons grade as we've known all along.
Well, I kind of look at it as two kind of the associated phases. One is the diplomatic side, which we've heard a lot about, and number two is the reality. And I think for the United States, anything that Iran does to have a nuclear capability in the future has to be addressed.
Gotta say no, dude. Say no to Iran, dude. Say hell no. Hell no.
And will continue to be addressed every day, regardless of what you call the agreement. So,
okay.
Number one, I think the IRGC is back on its heels. I think that it's going to take some time, but I think the number one issue there was that they fail, and number two is that we secure Israel and the GCC countries as our allies.
All right, I want to get to this. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also talked about gas prices. That's where Americans' heads are. If you talk with any of these voters in primary season, let's watch.
We don't benefit from.
Well, here's the thing, man. Look, I don't like paying more in gas either. It's never fun. But at the same time, gas prices are going to go down rapidly because Iran no longer has the ability to control the Strait of Hormuz. If you think about it, they could barely even run their own economy right now because of the stranglehold that Trump has put on there. Look, the Iranian government has been terrible. The Iranian government has killed their own citizens. Keep that in mind. Before you guys start saying Iran's totally innocent. No, they're not. Iran has killed their own citizens. They've done many, many terrible things. Yeah. I don't know. You guys are crazy. Yeah, Iran sucks. They kill their own citizens for protesting. Number one state sponsor of terror, and they were also like near weapons grade enrichment of uranium. It's pretty simple. Iran is not the good guy here. Period. They've been the bully of the Middle East for a very long time. So, I don't know. To all the people who are defending Iran and all this shit, you guys got to get yourself checked. I don't know. You guys got to figure out what's wrong with yourselves. You know what I mean? Come on. Come on. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow. Yeah, we're huge fans of the Trump administration. I'm not going to lie. But if you can, though, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner.
The Straits as much as other countries. I don't know if you've seen what the gas prices are like in other parts of the world that are really suffering big time. So we're very fortunate that the United States, I believe right now, is like the world's largest net exporter of oil and natural gas as a result, and not because of this war, but because we have this capacity. So we've been insulated to some degree. Everybody needs to think about it this way. If Iran had a nuclear weapon and they decided to close the straits and make our gas prices like $9 a gallon or $8 a gallon, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it because they have a nuclear weapon. And a nuclear-armed Iran could do whatever the hell they want.
How is today different?
I don't think today is any different. I think there's a lot of rhetoric on TV and in the diplomatic discussions. I think the end state for us again is that Iran doesn't have a capability to threaten anybody in the world with a nuclear weapon, and number two, that we secure Israel along with them and our GCC counterparts. And there's a lot of rhetoric you hear on the news and such. I thought that, like I said, I thought the Secretary did a great job. But the end state, as far as I'm concerned, is a Middle East where Iran can't threaten its neighbors and doesn't have a nuclear weapon, period.
You know, last quick question. Do you think we will own Iran then? I mean, you're talking about potentially helping people on the ground. What does that look like?
I think we help the people. First of all, I'm not a big fan of invading Iran necessarily, although I think on the coastline we could do some things that would secure the Straits of Hormuz. We do not want to own Iran. The people of Iran need to own Iran. We need to have set the stage where the people of Iran can have a government that doesn't threaten the rest of the Middle East, and that's our objective. We don't want to own Iran.
General Wald, always great to see you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Harris.
Hell yeah, bro.
Be sure to like.
Let's listen to Marco Rubio.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me today. I'll be filling in for Caroline today, obviously. So I'll have a brief remarks here, and then we'll get to your questions. As you know, over the weekend, the president announced this Project Freedom, and the goal of it is to, frankly, if you want to talk about it, it's to rescue like almost 23,000 civilians from 87 different countries that are trapped inside of the Gulf and left for dead in the Persian Gulf by this Iranian regime. You know, for more than 2 months now, these innocent sailors and commercial crew members have been stranded out at sea because Iran is conducting something that's not just criminal. It's,
by the way, we're not paying for the ballroom. The ballroom has been privately funded. I repeat, the ballroom is privately funded. There's not even a dime coming from the taxpayers for the ballroom. So I don't know what you're freaking talking about, bro.
criminal for sure, but it's desperate and destructive, this blockade of the Straits of Hormuz. Nations from around the world, the overwhelming majority of whom are not even engaged in any military hostilities, are now at risk not just of losing their cargo, but the lives of their own citizens because of this blockade. These ships, you know, you don't leave a ship out there for this long. You start running out of food, you start running out of potable water, essential supplies, and they're at the mercy of this piracy. And what it is, it's piracy. And not only that, but some of them have seen, you know, been open fire on and rained down senseless attacks on several civilian ships already. So frankly, the way to put it, these are innocent bystanders. These are countries that, and ships and so forth that have nothing to do with any of this and nonetheless are being caught in the middle of it and being held hostage merely because...
Hey guys, don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. If you guys love Trump as much as I do and you think he's the man, I hope you double tap the screen. If you guys think that Marco Rubio is the man, please double tap your screen. If you guys think J.D. Vance 2028, please tap yours. Double tap your screen.
Because Iran could do that, just because of, just as the regime brutally slaughtered tens of thousands of their own citizens for the...
Yeah, Lamar, quit with your fake-ass news, dude. I'm so tired of the left gaslighting everybody. To Lamar, we don't want to be gaslit by leftists anymore. We don't listen to you. We don't listen to leftists. We don't listen to you woke people. You woke people, we don't listen to you. If you're woke, we're not listening to you. If you vote Democrat, we're not listening to you. We respect your right to exist, but we don't listen to leftists on this channel. We refuse to listen to leftists. Period. End of story.
For the crime of peaceful protest, because they're unhappy with the quality of life or the lack of quality of life in Iran today. And so they're sitting ducks. They're isolated, they're starving, they're vulnerable, and at least 10 sailors have already died as a result of the civilian sailors. So already...
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's take a listen to Trump. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate the heads up.
How am I going to get a nicer something than...
Extend warm welcome to our Vice President, J.D. Vance, and his wife, Usha. Welcome. It is our pleasure to join today by Secretary McMahon, Mrs. Haxett, and I'm also honored to welcome Mrs. Melody Wolf and Lorraine Hawk, and to my Chief of Staff, Haley Harrison, who is preparing to welcome her second child onto the world. Haley, you're a wonderful mother, and I wish you and your growing family all great things. I often think about the brave people.
Aw, E.T. E.T. called me daddy. E.T. called me daddy. Yeah, Lamar, the truth does hurt, man, and that's the problem. And I speak the truth. Lamar, I think you're lying. I think you're lying through your teeth. That's okay if you're lying. I'm just not going to fall for the lies. That's the difference, all right? I'm not falling for it. But E.T.'s calling me daddy? Cool. Hell yeah, brother.
Who make the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. When I went to honor the fallen service members from the 103rd Sustainment Command at Dover Air Force Base last March, I realized that words cannot comfort the all-consuming grief that family members, and mothers in particular, experience. The loss is overwhelming. Although I understand the deep pride these families feel in their loved ones' service to our great republic, I cannot fathom the depth.
Yes, Melania said republic. Yes, I'm so sick and tired of people saying America's a democracy. Democracy dies in darkness. First off, democracy dies because democracy is a stupid concept. We're a constitutional representative republic. Stop saying we're a democracy. Thank you, Melania, for correcting everybody. We are a republic. I mean, dude, the reason democracy sucks. If we were a full-on democracy, everything would have to be voted upon by everybody. This is why we have representatives. Yes, is determining who the representative is a democratic process? Yes, but we're only part democracy. And we're primarily a republic. Don't forget that. Don't forget that.
Of their sorrow. A mother is awestruck when she welcomes her child into the world. After 9 months, the miracle of life creates a fascinating bond between mother and child. With each breath, day by day, this bond deepens, bringing forth emotions never felt before. Quite frankly, these are emotions understood.
I'm getting dumb reading your comment. Dude, your live comments, brother. Lamar, dude, do you got any facts or are you just throwing crap out of your you-know-what? And he says, best first lady, she rocks. Dude, absolutely. Dude, Melania is awesome, dude. She's a stud. Well, she's not a stud, but she's the best. Honestly, best first lady of all time. Trump is the best president of all time. Melania is the best first lady. Enough said. Double tap your screen if you agree with me. Once again, double tap your screen if you agree with me. Hell yeah.
Only by women. Only a mother can carry this type of powerful connection with her child, which is also too profound for words. This is a time of military conflict for America, and whereby we honor our selfless and valiant service members regularly. Today is the day we hold their mothers in the highest regard. It is these military mothers who find themselves alone, awake in their thoughts in the darkest hours of the night. Of course, we must also remember the mothers with a spouse overseas, praying for a safe return so their family can become whole once again. At the very heart of America's strength lies the boundless love and quiet power of mothers. We are the most devoted teachers, gently nurturing empathy, inspiring dreams, and guiding our children towards goodness. We help them rise with courage when life grows difficult. In every hug, every story read at bedtime, and every sacrifice made without complaint, mothers build the moral foundation of our families. In doing so, America's mothers help build the soul of our nation.
Yeah.
I pray you find enduring strength as your loved one serves in defense of our freedom. Most know my husband as the strong commander-in-chief, but his empathy transcends the role.
He's the man,
and
dude.
shape a caring leader who
Trump's
constantly remembers each and every American soldier is someone's child. Distinguished guests, please join me with a warm welcome for our President, Donald J. Trump.
The goat, dude. The freaking goat, bro.
That's good.
Pink brownie, bro.
Thank you, Anna. Great job.
Gift yum yum. Gift yum yum. Hey, thank you so much, call sign Wolfman. I appreciate it. Thank you for sending a goat trophy. Everybody give a shout out to our pink brony bro. We're gonna keep on fapping at the pink brony bro. Gift yum yum. Gift yum yum. Thank you for the GOAT trophy. Everybody give a shout out to call sign Wolfman. I really want to thank you for that trophy. And thank you, Annie, for the clapping seal. I appreciate it. I gave a love to both of those gifts. If you guys want to help the channel grow in more ways than one, feel free to send gifts. Any sort of gift you guys want to send, man, we're all about it, man. We're all about it. On this channel, we love talking about the things that we love to talk about. We're not afraid to be us, who we really are. So I do want to thank you for those gifts, Annie and call sign Wolfman. I appreciate you, bro. Everybody, once again, give a shout out to call sign Wolfman. Everybody, I appreciate that gift, and Annie, I appreciate your gift too. Honestly, I just appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. Gifts, I like giving shout outs though. That's the one thing I love giving are these shout outs. I love giving the flowers when the flowers are due, and yeah, you guys are amazing. Amazing. Let's keep going, man.
So I want to thank everybody for being here. We have so many things to talk about, but there's nothing more important than military moms that I can tell you, because without you, I don't think it would be in this house. I don't think this house probably ever would have been built a long time ago. So important. I want to start off by saying we're in our great vice presidents right here, and we're in I call it a skirmish, because that's what it is. It's a skirmish. And we're doing unbelievably well, as we did in Venezuela, where it was rapid.
Small wiener gang. Hey, thank you, call sign Wolfman. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you. Much love, bro.
And we're doing pretty much equally as well, I would say, larger. But we're doing very well in Iran. It's going very smoothly, and we'll see what happens. They want to make a deal. They want to negotiate. And I think that military mothers...
Everybody, once again, give a shout-out to my boy, call sign Wolfman, for subscribing. I'm going to put his name back up on the board. Thank you, Brony. Small wiener gang. And once again, appreciate that gift earlier, man. Call sign says, I believe he did a better job this term. Even he did a great job first time. Absolutely, dude. I voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. I'm proud to say that I voted for this man because everybody's just like, I don't know, the way he's treated by the media, it's just unfair. It's unfair, bro. I don't like it.
Would want to hear that. Do you agree? I think it's appropriate. Somebody would say, oh, that's not appropriate. I think military mothers want to hear about this stuff.
No, like legitimately, though, the media treats him like crap. The media treats Trump like crap, and it pisses me off, bro.
And we have the greatest. And we have the greatest. We have the greatest military that we've ever had. We have the greatest military in the world by far. There's nobody even close. And I think we've displayed that. I built the military in my first term, much of it. It was when I inherited the military. It was like when I inherited the border. The border was a mess, and the military was a mess. A lot of you know that because you were there to witness it. And now we have the strongest military that we've ever had.
Yeah, you could thank Joe Biden for dude, honestly, we were so weak under Biden. It was insane. Trump is actually fixing a lot of the problems that Joe Biden caused. Just the same way that Trump was fixing the economy that Obama caused. You know, and so in his first term. Second term, he's cleaning up the Biden mess. And it's not an easy mess to clean up because Biden, in my opinion, he royally screwed up, bro. Royally screwed up. Royally. I think people need to be aware of that. Biden messed up, bro.
We're just getting a approval of $1.5 trillion to upgrade our military still further. But when I was...
Oh, it was absolutely horrible under Biden, dude. I do not miss the Biden days, dude. The Biden era, thank goodness, man, we're not in the Biden era anymore, dude. The Biden era was just, it was awful. Like, I don't understand how anybody could be supportive of Joe Biden, why anybody would think that Joe Biden was even remotely a good president when he was quite possibly one of the worst presidents we've ever had. So, yeah, it was terrible under Joe. But yeah, Joe Biden was just one of the worst presidents we ever had, just straight up. I don't know how anybody could defend what Joe Biden was doing. I firmly do not get it. How anybody could defend Joe Biden's presidency. If you think that Joe Biden was a good president, I don't know what to tell you. If you guys think that Trump is a better president than Joe Biden, double tap your screen to like the stream if you agree with that statement. If you agree that Trump is a far better president than Joe Biden could ever have been, double tap your screen to like the stream, because if you support Biden, I don't know what to tell you. You need to get your head checked. Talk to a doctor about that. It's not medical advice.
Spending all that money in my first term, it was a great term, a very unbelievable term. We had the best.
Are you kidding me? Hold on. GJG. You say you got a mad old man instead? Dude, Joe Biden was an angry old man. That's who we got. Call sign Wolfman says it wasn't Biden, it was the magic auto pen. Biden was not aware he was the... That's a good one, call sign Wolfman. Thank you for that live comment for myself, Ray. Yeah, dude, Reagan then Trump. I think Trump's the GOAT, dude. I think that Trump is like legit the GOAT. That's my opinion, at least. I love Donald Trump, dude. Donald Trump's the GOAT, dude.
Economic numbers that the country's ever had. Now we're going to blow them away. We're blowing them away right now. But I built the military in my first term with the help of a lot of great admirals, generals, and everybody else. And I didn't know we'd be using it quite so much, but that's okay, whatever it is, because...
Larson Christopher in the house. What up, dude? Under Democrats, everything turns to poo-poo. Da poo-poo. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, it's terrible, man. It's terrible.
In the case of Iran, we're not going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
Hell to the no, dude. Iran should never, ever, ever have a nuclear weapon. Period. End of story. Trump made the right move by going to Iran. He made the right move.
And we're not going to let that happen, and we won't let that happen. And so we're dealing with people that want to make a deal very much, and we'll see whether or not they can make a deal that's satisfactory to us. We have it very much under control. The blockade is unbelievable. The Navy's been...
Larson says it's hard to correctly compare Trump and Reagan. Both are great presidents. Absolutely. We got my boy Larson Christopher in the house. Let's see. Call sign Wolfman says I don't just use Newsmax. I research everything before I make my decision. Yeah, that's smart, man. Smart as hell.
Incredible the job they did. It's like a wall of steel. Nobody goes through. In particular, the Iranians, they're not getting anything through one way or the other, so they're out of business. And we'll see whether or not they are agreeing. And if they don't agree, they'll end up agreeing shortly thereafter. So that's the way it is.
Yeah, one way or another, it's either you agree and save yourself some bloodshed, or you don't agree and there's going to be bloodshed. That's pretty much what Trump is saying in no short terms. GJG, do you think that Iran's winning this war? Because if you do, you're an idiot. You're a fool. If you think that Iran's winning this war, you're a fool. They've already lost. You know it.
And I thought you might want to have a little rundown now. The fake news is all happy because they can hear what we had to say. And I have to say, JD's doing a fantastic job. He's working with us, with him and all of the team, Marco, and we have Steve Witkoff, Jared. We have a whole...
ET says, joke's on you. I get my info from Garza. Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't listen to any. Look, I don't listen to the mainstream media at all. I don't trust the mainstream media. I don't really trust Fox either. But if I'm going to choose the devil, I'm just going to choose Fox News, because Fox News at least isn't full of crazy liberals. And the problem is the liberals are just too crazy. I can't deal with liberals because they're just too insane. Especially some of the liberals that, come into my chat. They just get too crazy. Liberals don't understand. You know what creates a Republican voter faster than anybody? It's not the Republican who's running for president. It's the Democrat who's vandalizing the Tesla. That allegedly is what motivates people to vote anti-Democrat. Most people are just anti-Democrat these days. They're not really pro-Republican. They're just like, I'm done with the left. The left is too crazy for me. Because all they do when things don't go their way, it's like massive levels of violence. They all get together. They do violent acts. It's terrible. So when the left doesn't get their way, they throw a temper tantrum, and that's in the form of vandalism. Vandalism, in my opinion, is the Democrat love language, in my opinion, allegedly. All right? That's the way I see it, man. When they started vandalizing Teslas, I was like, dude, can the left get any dumber? Can the left get any stupider? I don't know. But they always seem to outdo themselves every single time. They get dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber.
Whole group, the generals, and General Kane has been fantastic. Pete Hegseth, incredible. We have just a great group of people. CIA, John Ratcliffe, he's great. I think Mrs. Ratcliffe's even here someplace. And are you here, Mrs. Ratcliffe? I think somebody said yes. But we have amazing people. We have an amazing military. And I think it's on display. Sometimes you'd rather not have it be on display, but they're there for a purpose. And the greatest military anywhere in the world. And the world is watching us as we do our thing. And we have the respect of the world, which we didn't have. 2 years ago, we were a laughingstock all over the world. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world in every way. So I just want to congratulate.
Yeah, dude, a lot of things were bad under Biden. I don't think you guys are really, truly keeping this in perspective. Under Biden, things were garbage. Joe Biden was not a good president at all. Joe Biden was one of the worst presidents we could have ever had. Oh my God, is there somebody saying that Iran's winning? Crazy.
Congratulate you all because you're a big part of it. And I want to thank you, Melania. Amazing the job you've done. She did a little movie. It became the #1 movie. Now, and I can't exaggerate, because if I did, they would be all over. It wasn't #1. It was #2. It was #5. So I have to be very, very careful with it. And then it went streaming. It's a different world. I didn't even know what they were talking about. They said, oh, and it became #1 streaming too. So,
hell yeah, bro. Dude, Melania's like a real movie star, dude. Real movie star, man. Look, if you guys love Trump as much as I do, and you guys think that Trump is the man, don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream one more time. If you guys think that Trump is the man, double tap your screen. Helps the channel grow. Yeah. Anything you guys could do to help the stream out, yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's an amazing achievement. Huh? And most importantly to her, she's done an incredible job as First Lady. And she's an incredible mom. She has a little boy who's quite tall. He's a little boy to us, but he's quite tall, right? And he's great, Barron, and she takes great care of him. And thank you. Great mom. Today we're honored to welcome to the White House a group of strong and resilient women who represent the best of our country, the amazing military mothers, so important, and we want to thank you all for being here. So many of you I know or recognize, and I want to thank you very much, because there's nothing like the White House, right? Is it the coolest? And by the way, right behind me, see that? You call it a window or a drape. I call it a knockout panel. Because behind that, in fact, if you want to see it, I think we could work it out, but behind that window is a end drape. In fact, the drapes are so nice, I think I'm going to leave them. How am I going to get a nicer something than that? But that's the entrance to the new ballroom that's being built, which everybody likes, especially since last Saturday evening.
So who thinks about Donald Trump more, me or the typical leftist? Now, I argue that, yes, I do glaze Trump's meat quite a bit, allegedly. But no, I love Trump. I really do think he's one of the best presidents we've ever had. But who thinks about Trump more? Michael Garza or the traditional leftist? Because, dude, Trump lives rent-free in all these leftists' heads, and he's also the landlord. And the problem is these leftists, anytime they think of Trump, they like start foaming out the mouth. All you have to do if you want to piss off a liberal is just say how awesome Trump is, and MAGA's pretty kick-ass. That's all you got to do, dude. Dude, I think you're uneducated, Spiderweb. I think you're an uneducated person. That's what I believe. Call sign Wolfman says Trump is not a politician. He is for the people and does what needs to be done for the American people. Yes. Trump's the man, dude. Dude, Trump is here to serve us. And he wants to. Either I don't know, the left is just cuckoo bananas in my opinion. They're just cuckoo bananas, man.
They like it even because it'll have a thing called security. It'll be nice, but right back there is where we're building. So if you hear any pounding noises, the pile drivers are out. It's already up to the first floor, but we're a little bit ahead of schedule, right on budget, but it's going to be something great. It'll be one of the most beautiful buildings of its kind anywhere in the world. And you know, for 150 years, presidents have wanted a room. This is the ballroom right here. And it's too small. We had the king and queen of a lovely country, United Kingdom, and we would have had at least 1,000. Everybody wanted to be here, and we had 112 people because this is a lovely room, but it's not big enough. It's got one, and it's been that way for many, many years. So every president's been calling, but I was in a position being a builder and having built many ballrooms and many other things. I'm good at ballrooms, and we're giving you I believe it's the best. It'll be the best ever built, and it will have windows that are thicker than any ballroom I've ever built. I usually have glass that's about a quarter of an inch.
He said thick. Ooh, I'm getting all steamy right now. He said thick. Oh my God. But yeah, the Democrats are just out of their minds. I don't really listen to leftists. I like to basically I don't take the left seriously at this point. I believe the left. If you have Democrat next to your name, I don't take you seriously. I don't. If you have Democrat next to your name, I'm not voting for you. Period. End of story. Because one, I don't think the Democrat Party is really good for the people. I don't think that Democrats are as popular as the left claims they are. And here's the thing. Those polls, Republicans don't take polls. Republicans despise pollsters. So the reason the polls are often wrong is because Republicans think that, one, pollsters are gay. Two, yeah, the truth is the reason the Democrats always seem to win on the polls is because only Democrats take the polls. Duh. Let's see. Call sign Wolfman says ballroom privately funded, not paid by the American taxpayers. It's privately funded. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Crazy.
It's thick. This is about 6 inches thick.
Whoa, 6 inches? Ooh. All I heard was Trump say 6 inches, and I became suddenly interested.
Can repel a lot of different weapons. But it's going to be incredible. It's going to be, aside from being secure, it's going to be I think it's going to be the most beautiful ballroom ever built. And it's something that the White House has needed, that presidents have needed. And it's an honor to be involved. And it really has become very popular. When people see the design, they really like it.
Wait, who's harassing now? What's going on? Oh, wait, who's harassing who? What's going on? Let me see what the harassment's all about. Hold on. Yeah, 6 inches, baby.
And it's been great, gotten some great reviews. Also, with us is Secretary of Education Linda McMahon, my friend, who's done such a fantastic job wherever you are, Linda. Oh, hi, Linda. She's great. What a job. Along with Jennifer Hegseth. Jennifer? Hi, Jennifer.
Hegseth.
He's doing some job.
Pete Hegseth's wife, dude, I think. Sounds awesome to me.
I'll tell you.
Baller. Winning.
He's doing a job. You know, he stood up. He was the only one. He was standing up in the ballroom the other day in the event. Oh,
you guys, if you can, don't forget to double tap the screen to like the stream. If you guys love, if you guys love Trump as much as I do, and you agree with Trump on a lot of stuff, if you agree with me, double tap your screen to like the stream one more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Trump daddy. Dude, Trump's the man, bro. Trump is the man. So double tap your screen if you think that Trump is the man. He's the GOAT, dude. Greatest of all time, brother.
White House, they call it the White House dinner. You know, they were saying, can you use, well, when you use that term, I guess you probably can use it, but we had a little dinner the other night, and your husband was standing on the top of a table. Everyone else was under the table. So that's what we want of our Secretary of War, right? We want somebody, but he was standing on top of the table. Everyone else was under the damn table.
Gary Daniels is asking, question, am I blocked? Well, it doesn't look like you're blocked, Gary. You're probably a liberal. I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I don't know. So wait, you say that I know, wait, I don't, what? Eric M., you're on a certain kind of you-know-what. Look, I support Trump because it's right. I support Trump because I am right. Got it? So Trump is the man. I don't care what you think. I'm a huge fan of Trump. That's all I'm going to say. I'm a big fan. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a fan of Trump, bro. I am a fan of Trump. So you guys could be mussies about it. Do what you want, man. No, Trump's the man, dude. Trump is the greatest president we've ever had. If you guys believe, if you guys agree with me on this, Trump is the greatest president we've ever had, double tap your screen. Helps us out, too.
Anyway, he's doing a fantastic job. He and the General, those are great news conferences. We like them. They work very well together, I can tell you. The wife of Pete Hegseth, and say hello to Pete.
So what about Trump makes me a fan? Well, he's the deregulator in chief. He came in and got rid of a lot of stupid regulations. He's come in and tried to get rid of as many federal institutions as possible that don't do anything. You know, we started with only 4 federal institutions. Now we got 4,000? So Trump has done a great job of deregulating and getting rid of federal institutions because the federal government is not meant to be a business. The federal budget is already too much. It needs to end. If states need to figure out their own shit, all right? But yeah, Trump's the man. That's all I got to say. Let's keep going.
Michelle Ratcliffe. Michelle? Where is Michelle? I think she's here someplace. Michelle. And the wife of CIA Director John Ratcliffe. And Jackie Emmer. Jackie, you are so great. Jack, I know Jackie well because her husband and I, we didn't know each other. We fought. You know, in politics, you can fight. And then when we got to know each other, we love each other, right?
Yeah, that happens, man. Sometimes you fight your political opponent, get to know them, maybe have a drink or two, or just have a conversation with them. It's like, oh, you're not that bad. This is a love, what? This is a love affair channel. What the hell? Look, I just love Trump, bro. I love Trump. I love the mussy. All right. Trump's the man, bro. Now, if you guys don't think Trump's the man, whatever. Trump is the greatest president we've ever had, and I know that all the leftists in the chat are just getting jealous, dude. A lot of the leftists in the chat are just jealous, bro. You're jealous. You're jealous because Trump is actually a good president, and every president you guys pick who's a Democrat sucks at what they do. Period. End of story.
But she always liked Trump, and she convinced her husband, who's a big power in the House, she convinced her husband that Trump was much better than he thought. And I remember you. I like you. Now I really like him. He's an incredible. But I like you more, and I'm always, because you were there long before him, right? But Jackie, you're great. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And as you know, Tom Emmer is the House Majority Whip, and he's a fantastic person. Real leader. Comes from an interesting place, a place that's under investigation by our great vice president. They're finding a lot. And Tom Emmer was one of the biggest complainers about what was going on in Minnesota and lots of other places.
And thank goodness, you know, it took Nick Shirley to unravel what was happening in Minnesota. It took Big Nick. Nick Shirley's the man, dude. I love that Nick Shirley called out and revealed all the fraud. I think it's a beautiful thing, and yeah, I love it. Big Dick Nick, dude.
I also want to say a special thank you to the many moms among our fantastic military aides and social aides who support us here at the White House. They've been incredible. All of you have been so incredible. And I want to thank you very much for being with us today. It's beautiful. The women in this room have sacrificed for our country in countless ways. Among you are veterans and active duty service members, proud spouses, and the parents of those who serve in uniform. Amazing people, the most amazing people. Many of you have missed cherished moments, and you really have. You've spent so much time taking care of.
Yes, call sign Wolfman, exactly, dude. Nick Shirley's been amazing. Nick Shirley is amazing. I love Nick Shirley, man. Hey, if you guys love Nick Shirley as much as I do, feel free to send a gift. More gifts we get, the better. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. So if you guys can, don't forget to tap the gift button and send a gift. It could be a small gift. It could be a large gift. Any virtual gifts help the channel. They do fund the channel. Otherwise, if you guys haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot.
The ones you love. You've missed holidays, birthday parties, graduations, or even a child's first words. Others have moved more times than anybody can even count. And I don't know if you love doing it or not, but you get very good at it. You have the way, you know the way to do it. But you do it all because you love America, you love our country. And this week, as we prepare to celebrate Mother's Day, we take this opportunity on behalf of all of us.
Oh, yeah, I was able to swing trade a little bit. It's good to see you on here. Jason Beatrice, it's good to see you, brother. Let me actually take a look at my portfolio real quick. I swing trade specific ETFs, and I started betting against Bitcoin more often again, but I use the BIDI instead of the SBIT because the SBIT, if it goes down 2 times, that could be a little detrimental. But I got back into the BIDI. BIDI's a 1-for-1, and it's a good way for me to be involved in the volatility of Bitcoin in a lot of ways. Because I love betting against Bitcoin more than anything. Bitcoin is a scam, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly. In my opinion, Bitcoin's a scam. And I believe firmly that it's a Ponzi scheme, allegedly. I'll say allegedly to cover my ass. I think Bitcoin sucks is all I'm trying to say. Bitcoin is lame. And I don't know why anybody thinks it's a good investment. I mean, if you think that Bitcoin's a good investment, man, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Hold on. I was able to sell some of my portion of VSS, though, dude. I am, for VSS specifically, I am up 4% for my total return. For silver, I'm up 5.15%. I have pretty sexy positions in all these. I'm up 1.47% in gold. Silver moves up so quickly, though. It's crazy. And then VTWO, the Vanguard Russell 2000 Index Fund, I'm up 4.67%. So these are just swing trade positions that I have. And then Biddy, I'm kind of just standing right there in the center. I'm pretty much neutral right now. But that's okay. But yeah, VTWO is looking great. This is amazing, dude. Amazing. Yeah, and by the way, this is 4% in the last week. I am up 4 to 5% in all of those in 1 week. That's 1 week of gains, by the way. And I sold to make sure I had some realized sells. I like to make sure if I'm swing trading, I swing trade the volatility. But yeah, I made sure that I sold some of my positions, so that way I can, just in case anything crashes, I could buy the dip again. But yeah, I'm very much so a dip buyer. At the end of the day, that's what small wiener gang. Dips. But yeah, no, that's just how I operate, man. That's how. But hey, Jao Soul, thank you for subscribing, Brony. Everybody give a shout out to Jao Soul, everybody. Woo! Thank you, bud. Hey, if you guys can, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow. More subscribers, the more we thrive. So we're at 10,481 subs. We're trying to get to 10,500 subs before the end of the stream. So we're only 19 subs away from hitting 10,500. I just appreciate each and every one of you guys for being so involved in the channel, and it really matters. So thank you.
To say thank you very much for the incredible job. You do it with love, so it's not, I don't think, there's no such thing as a job if you love it, but we'll call it a job nevertheless. The job you do is incredible, and everybody respects you so much. You have no idea. So I just want to thank you all, and thank you all for being here. Joining us is someone who knows the incredible sacrifice of service, Brittany Stevenson from Camp Lejeune. That's a hell of a camp. That's beyond a
Camp Lejeune? I've never heard of that. Crazy, though.
Camp. It's the word camp, I don't know. It doesn't look like a camp to me. Her parents were both Marines, and in 1983, her dad survived the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut. We talk about that even to this day. That was something. Brittany loved the Marines so much that she married a Marine herself, and the love of her life. Taylor, over 15 years, her family has moved 10 different homes, and been assigned to 6 duty stations from all over the world. And now her daughter, Ava, is part of the Marine Corps Junior ROTC program and wants to become a Marine as well.
That's
so,
great,
Brittany, your family
is
a definition of Semper Fi and always faithful. And I want to thank you. Where are you? Where are you? Please stand up. Would you like to come up and say, come here, Brittany. Come here.
Thank you. I'm not really sure what to say, but this is such an honor and a privilege to be here. I'm truly touched to represent my family, the Marine Corps, Camp Lejeune, and military moms and spouses like you all. So, thank you. Thank you so much.
Good job. She had no idea she was going to be doing that, but I looked at her. I said, she looks so great. I'm going to get her up here, right? That was beautiful. Thank you very much. As Melania mentioned, we're also honored.
I like that Trump is just getting people to come up. No speeches prepared, just saying, hey, coming up to speak from the heart. That is beautiful because it's truthful, it's authentic. I love it. Speak from the heart, basically. Dude, Trump's the man, dude. Greatest president we've ever had. Straight up, 100%. If you guys can, though, don't forget to tap the gift button. The more gifts we get, the better. So feel free to tap the gift button and select your gift of choice. It really does help keep the channel rolling. It helps fund a lot of the equipment costs It's not cheap to run this channel. It's not cheap, but it does fund a lot of the equipment costs. So the more gifts we get, the better. So feel free to tap the gift button. Send any gift, any amount, 2 joules, 10 joules, whatever you want. We just appreciate it, and or become a channel member, one or the other. I don't care. And you guys, it's not an obligation, obviously. I just like to encourage people if they want to, if they have the ability to. Only if you got the ability to, though. I do want to look out for everybody's wallets and make sure that I'm not taking more than I'm giving. That's a big deal to me. So, but I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
To be joined by a military mother who sacrificed far more than most. That's Melody Wolf. And, I love the name Melody because for a long time, they have spell correct and word correct on these crazy machines that we use to put out truths, or they used to be called tweets. And every time I wrote Melania, it would correct to Melody. So I do things, and I work very fast, and I talk about it, and I say, and Melania is fantastic, and happy Mother's Day, Melania, our great First Lady Melania, but it would spell correct and word correct to Melody, and sometimes I wouldn't proofread it, and I'd say,
gift, yum, yum,
and I would,
yum, yum. Hey, thank you, Vacation Time, for sending a gold coin for 10 joules. Appreciate it. Really love it. No, thank you guys. I really appreciate you. I love it, man. Uncle Chris says, Garza, I'm here. What up, Uncle Chris? I love you, Brony. You're so cute. You're so cute. Eric M says, you mega should put your money where your mouth is. If you say I'm lying about the economy. No, you are. I think you are lying. Because here's the thing. I invest. I'm an investor. And look, are the markets going up for now? Sure. They could crash. Absolutely. Anytime. Markets can be volatile. That's one of the reasons why I'm able to be a successful swing trader, because I understand the volatility of small caps. I understand the volatility of silver. I even understand the minimal volatility of gold. Gold isn't too volatile, though. It's pretty steady, but it can get volatile depending on certain conditions. Yeah, I made quite a few bucks today, actually, which is really nice. Let me check something out real quick. But yeah, no, I'm really a big investor at the end of the day. That's just kind of how I operate. I've always been very keen about investing. Hold on. Yeah, markets are looking great, man. Markets are looking sexy. Money, easy money. All right, let's keep going. Let's go, dude.
Would get just absolute decimated. These people would decimate. They said he didn't know the name of his wife. He keeps calling her. And I said, what the hell is wrong with this machine? I didn't know about that little feature, but I got that corrected eventually. You know who corrected? The military. I said, come here, you got to correct this. You're killing me. I took more abuse. She's been called Melody a lot. Anyway.
Trump's the man, dude. Straight up. Trump is the man. Straight up, dude. Dude, the markets are looking fantastic. Are you kidding? The markets look hot. Give me a moment. Hold on. There we go. I wanted to make sure I had more Biddy in my portfolio, so that's good. All right. Biddy. Biddy my titty.
I had to explain it to you this way. I stood up here to explain it to you. I apologize. Last year, Melody's 24-year-old son, Andrew Wolf, of West Virginia National Guard, was on patrol in Washington, D.C., helping to restore law and order to our capital city. And I spoke to her. This woman is amazing. Along with her comrade, specialist Sarah Backstrom, who is just was a fantastic person. He was ambushed by a terrorist and shot in the head. A violent, horrible person did this. Nobody thought Andrew was going to make it, but Melody told me, and I called her that evening in the hospital. Sir, I have no doubt the doctor said he won't be making it. And as you know, Sarah passed away also from a shot to the head by these.
That was so freaking terrible when that happened, dude. Like, I'm just so sick of all these terrorists trying to come in and hurt people like this, especially people, I don't know, like, it's messed up. It's extremely messed up, dude. Beyond belief. It's freaking crazy. It's insane.
These people, these
massive
horrible,
insanity.
horrible people. But Melody was the one person. In fact, Melody's husband, who's great, he didn't feel the same way. But she said, I have no doubt, sir. I'm telling you, he's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. He's going to be fine. I never saw anything. It was really pretty amazing. And she was right. A week went by, another week went by, I'd call, I'd say, how's he doing? Sir, he's doing really well. And the doctors would say, I think he maybe will make it. And she turned out to be right. It was sort of a miracle, actually. And I've never seen, they talk about the power of positive thinking. I've never seen anything like this one. JD, you wouldn't believe it. He had no chance. I'm telling you, and she willed it. And now it's really something very special that
I love it, man. I love it. Dude, it's beautiful, Dan. Beautiful. Amazing.
I hear he's just doing fantastic. It was a Bible verse from the book of Isaiah. Do not fear, for I am with you. With God's help, Andrew has made a really incredible recovery. It's hard to believe. And during my State of the Union address, we were privileged to award him the Purple Heart. This was a real Purple Heart. This was a terrible thing that happened. And Melody, where are you, Melody? There you are. Hi. Haven't seen you in a little while, but it's true, the story, right? You were the only one. You know that you were the only one. She was so positive, I don't think she hurt anybody else. And your husband's doing okay, and he feels much better about it. He was not feeling too good. I think you should. Do you want to say something about your boy and how? Come on up here, Melody. No, it's such an amazing story. Such an amazing story. Come. We went through a couple of bad nights together, right?
Yes. I first want to say that we had the nation behind us at a time when nobody thought our boy would make it. He was 24 years old. He was a young man on the streets of D.C. A shot to the left part of his brain. We have a strong faith in God, and God is what brought our son through this. He gave us an amazing backing. He gave us amazing doctors. He gave us amazing nurses. And our community, our nation, our community, are just all of the support and the support of the White House medical staff.
Incredible.
Anything that our son needed was met. We are just truly thankful. And we're a little over 5 months. He came home from the hospital April 2nd. And he is now enjoying being home. He's getting back into playing golf. He loves cornhole, as you know. Yes.
That's right.
He loves doing so many activities, and so we're truly blessed that we're able to get him into some outpatient care closer to home. We do have another surgery coming up in September, and just recovery is my understanding that will happen for quite some time, but I have no doubt that he will be 100% back to Andrew within a few years, independent.
This is an amazing story, Annie. Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. And, oh, man. It's honestly wild. Seriously wild, man.
Driving, being a young bachelor again. So thank you so much.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm glad he's all right, man. I'm glad he's okay. It's a good thing, man. Scary, bro. Scary stuff. Scary, scary.
Incredible. That's incredible. That's incredible. Nobody really can understand it, but I was with the general, who was fantastic, right? And
Whoa, we got a gift? I must have missed this. Hold on. We got 3 gifts? Hold on. When did we get a third gift? Oh, that's right. Vacation time sent a gold coin. Forgot about that. My bad. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Let's go. Yeah.
He said, not much of a chance, maybe no chance. I mean, I hate to say it even, but no chance. They all said the same thing. And she said, no, God is with him. I'm telling you, President, God is with him. He's going to be okay. And I get reports that he's amazing. Right? So
I think it's great that
congratulations. Thank you very much.
I'm just happy that young man's recovering, man. It's a good thing. I'm glad he's recovering, man.
You taught us all something. Appreciate it. Also joining us is an outstanding active duty Air Force mom, Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Colazzo. She's an MQ-9 Reaper drone pilot. Whoa, that's pretty good.
Hell yeah. That's freaking wild, dude. Some of these people are just amazing. Actually, all these people are amazing.
An evaluator, a weapons officer, and desk officer at the Defense Threat Reduction Agency. She has traveled to 20 countries, flown over 7,000 hours, and eliminated many high-value targets. She's a great talent, they say. Our military is strong again, and as Amanda says to herself, and we are, as a nation, we are really respected again. She said that, and it's true. So, Amanda, thank you very much. Where are you, Amanda? Where are you? Come on up here, Amanda. I got to do this. You know, they're not expected to, but they're doing very well. Come on up. That's great.
Yeah, it's crazy how well a lot of these people are doing when they're just coming up at, last second, and they're not expecting to come up in any way, shape, or form. So it's kind of cool to see them be able to take the stage and stuff like that. I think it's amazing. Freaking amazing, bro. Give me a few more seconds, though. I got to check a couple positions. Interesting. Okay, anyway, sorry, guys.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Melania, for hosting this event. Thank you, Cindy, for inviting me out here. I just want to say I'm proud to be an American. I am proud to serve our nation, the world's greatest Air Force. Thank you for all of the moms out here and for your spouses, your kids, yourselves. So thank you all, and happy Mother's Day.
Heck yeah, it was a great impromptu little speech there.
She's very sharp.
Like Trump or not, dude, honestly, I will say this. He is the people's president. At the end of the day, Trump is the people's president. He is. I think you know it.
Isn't she? She'll be running for office someday. Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. As Commander-in-Chief, I will always support our great service members and their families. We've invested a record-setting trillion, and now it's up to $1.5 trillion, and all built in the USA, by the way, all right? So it's a lot of jobs, too, you know? Some people said I did it for that. Actually, I didn't. I did it for the military, but it's a byproduct. We have tremendous numbers of very talented people building all of the things that we do, and we make the best equipment anywhere in the world by far. They're all ordering it for us. In fact, I've given a special edict that the defense companies who have the best equipment, they're not making it fast enough, and now they're all building plants all over the place. I said, you're not allowed to buy back stock anymore. I told some of these people that are making millions and millions of dollars, you got to reduce your salary. I'm going to reduce your salary. You're going to put it into weapons. And it's been incredible, the spirit we have. And they're building, some of them are building 6, 7 plants right now to make the Patriots and the Tomahawks. Tomahawks are unbelievable. Patriots, unbelievable. We had, recently, we had 111 missiles shot at one of our very valuable objects, something called an aircraft carrier.
Damn, brother. But yeah, no, those aircraft carriers are freaking extreme. They're meant to handle fire. That's why they're like war. They're war vessels, basically.
Think of this: 111 missiles, high range, high quality, speed missiles, very high, very fast, very top of the line. 111 out of 111 missiles shot at a, you know, well, it used to be, you'd like to say, $1 billion boat. Now they're about $18 billion. They're very expensive. But 111 coming at them at 3,500 miles an hour. All 111 were shot down and didn't even get close to the ship. And they're all laying at the bottom of the ocean along with the Iranian Navy. They're all laying very nicely under the water. But think of that. 5 years ago, a thing like that would have been impossible. 10 years ago, it's not even thinkable. Ronald Reagan actually thought of the concept. They called it Star Wars, but it wasn't a concept that anybody thought would ever work. But, you know, you have these things coming at you, and we have the Patriots. The Patriots are the best of them. And we have other things also. But it's when you think you hit 100% of the missiles coming at us, it's not like, oh, let's let a couple get through. It's not that bad. One gets through, it's problems. So we can do things today, and no other country has anything like that. They don't have anything with the power, with the strength, and with the, you know, it's accuracy, really. It's accuracy. Got to hit. It's like hitting a needle in a haystack, they were saying, and yet they do it every time. It's pretty amazing, and we have the most talented people operating that equipment. For that, you have to be high IQ.
Gift, yum, yum.
You have to have
yum. Hey, thank you, Lisa 1111 for sending the floating heart for 10 jewels. Greatly appreciate it. I like to set absurdly high goals for gifts, only because it pisses off the leftists in the chat. You know, even if we don't reach 1,000 per day, I mean, it's a pretty big number, but it is a poll that I like to do just to piss off the liberals. But thank you, Lisa 1111. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel as well. More subscribers we get, the better, but I really do appreciate the gift, you guys. Big time, Lisa. Actually, I'm going to give you another shout out on the chat. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lisa, for the gift. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Choke, because you have about 12 seconds to make a decision and take the aim, and you have to be very good mathematically. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be very smart. You have to see the education, the schools. They go to the best schools in the world. Some of them.
1,000 in a day is achievable. $1,000 in total gifts is completely achievable. In a day? Absolutely. I've seen it happen. It's achievable. You just got to put it out there, man. Even if I don't get to 1,000, who the hell cares? You know? I just like to do these because I know it's going to piss off a lot of leftists.
Come out of, I know I called up a couple. I said, where did you go to school? I went to MIT. Oh, good. That's good. So it's it's a very different, frankly, it's a very different military in many ways. But we have invested a record-setting amount of dollars, and the U.S. Armed Forces is now stronger than it's ever been, and we're getting stronger, and it's so important. Every branch is setting records in recruitment, and I'm very proud of the Space Force because that was a branch that, a new one that came up, and we were losing to Russia and to China in space, and we had it as part of the Air Force, but it wasn't really thought of, once it's part of something. And we put a great general in charge, and the Space Force is now leading the other countries, China, Russia, and there is no fourth, really, and leading them by, we saw numbers the other day, we're leading in space by so much, we're never going to be caught. So I'm very proud of Space Force. First time that's taken place, a new force. The last one was the Air Force, and that was 78 years ago, so this is brand new, and we're very proud of it. It's turned out to be, I think it's going to be one of our most important as time goes.
It's going to be amazing, dude. It's going to be freaking amazing. Space Force, baby. Hell yeah.
By a lot of the things that...
Oh, okay, so Lisa's saying that she's in Seattle and it was $80 to fill the Jetta. Whoa, dude. $80? That's insane. Wait, in one setting? Damn, dude. I did not realize how crazy it was. That's wild. But thank you again, Lisa, for the gift. I appreciate you.
You see, a lot of the accuracy of the weapons is caused because of what we created with Space Force, so we're very proud of that. But every branch is setting records in recruitment. When last year, if you remember, before I came to office, actually after the election, it started picking up rapidly, to be honest with you. November 5th, we had a little election. We did quite well. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote. We won everything. We won 87% of the counties. We won it all. But I will tell you, right after that election, it started. But before that, we had the worst recruiting in the history of our country. People didn't want to be in the armed services. They didn't want to be police. They didn't want to be firemen.
Oh, Lisa ended up getting premium gas. Heck yeah. Hell yeah.
They didn't want to be anything with a uniform representing our country. And it was the lowest number we've ever had. And I can say very confidently that at this moment we have the highest recruitment, the most successful recruitment for the military, Army, Navy, the Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, all of it. We have the highest recruitment, the best recruitment that we've ever had. We have lines of people wanting to get in. We're taking people based on their fitness and their quality. We're taking, you wouldn't believe what the difference it is. And Washington, D.C. is an example. And that's why it's so sad when Melody comes up and talks about that one event, because, the numbers in Washington, D.C. Are so incredible. The numbers have gone down from we had a place that was so unsafe, our great capital, and now it's considered one of the safest cities anywhere in the United States. We went to Memphis, and Memphis was a killing field practically, and now it's down. The numbers are down. Crime 80%. In New Orleans, Louisiana, the governor called up, Jeff Landry, said, "Sir, we have the Mardi Gras coming up, and we have a lot of crime in the city. Can you do something?" And we put our people there, mostly National Guard, but whatever's necessary. And we have, crime was down 79% after 2.5, 3 months. And by the way, if they had the brains in Chicago, they'd ask us to go there. We'll solve the problem for them very quickly. We'd go to San Francisco very quickly. San Francisco would be so easy for us.
Dude, San Fran is out of control, dude. San Francisco is insane. Insane, brony, bro.
would go to New York and help them out, would love to help them out, and would get crime numbers down 70%, 80%, 90% in a matter of months. We took it in D.C. was really bad. I don't want to go into the numbers in terms of using the word murder, but it was really bad. And it's gone from that to being, we're down 92%. And actually, I'm trying to figure out, the 8%, who they are. One of the things we did, and some people like it, but the numbers speak for themselves. If you really get down, you see drug traffic coming into our country is way down. And by ocean, by the water, a lot of people say, what do you mean by sea? Is it sea, like vision? No, it's the SEA. But it's down 97%.
Damn.
Think of it, 97%. For years, they'd grab a boat and they'd bring him in and they'd see a judge and they'd let him out, and the next day he's back in his country, bring in more drugs in. Nothing worked. We're down, nothing. Get worse.
Well, yeah, I look, ownership matters, and the only thing I can really own at this point is our stocks. That's the only thing I'm able to own at this point that I could say is mine. Like, that's an ownership of mine. And, yeah, the only thing I could really invest in are stocks. I mean, look, I would love to have my own property, but at the same time, it's just better for me as far as cash flow goes, because income is the outcome. That is my stark philosophy is I invest and I invest and I invest straight up. That's all I do. Yeah. Let's keep going, yo.
Worse. Down 97%. And we're trying to figure who the 3% are, because we consider them to be maybe the bravest people anywhere in the world. You look at those boats, pume, and you feel terribly, except for one thing. Those boats, 25,000 people die from just a couple of those boats. Think of it, from drugs, ruin families, ruin everything. And when you see that, you say, thank you very much. But drugs coming in by sea are down 97%. And now we've started the land force, which is much easier. And you'll hear some complaints from some people in, like, representatives from Mexico and other places. But if they're not going to do the job, we're going to do the job, and they understand that. So that's sort of the easy one by comparison to the sea. We had to do the sea first. You had no idea how much came in by water, and very little, almost nothing is coming in right now. They don't want to do that anymore. But no one should ever doubt the resolve of America's military moms. They're incredible. From the start of our republic down to today, our nation's been strengthened by the love and devotion and the commitment of incredible women. These are really incredible women who've served our country, supported our troops, and
Oh, yeah, and these gals, man, I mean, no joke. I mean, Trump is right completely on this one. I mean, it's wild. And I think it's cool that Trump is doing this Mother's Day celebration. I really think it's amazing. I know it's not Mother's Day yet, but no, I just think it's awesome, man. Go Trump, bro. Go Trump. But no, Trump's the man, dude. I'm just so sick of all the haters and everybody just being crappy towards Trump, dude. I think he's uplifting. He's not lying. If you think that Trump is lying, man, just get yourself checked, bro. Get yourself checked. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. But I don't know, man. I just think that, Trump's one of the best presidents we've ever had. And I think that the people who are hating on Trump, they don't know what they're talking about specifically. They said I don't know. They just don't seem like they got it right in the head.
Poured out their care and compassion for this nation that we all love. So I just want to thank everybody and happy Mother's Day.
Trump
and
Daddy.
God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We love Trump on this channel. The Trump fans do. Congratulations to President Trump. Really cool that he did this event. I love it, man. Now, let's watch the rest of Marco freaking Rubio kicking butt.
Already many nations privately and some publicly have asked the United States to help free their ships and to restore freedom of navigation in the Straits of Hormuz and this critical artery of global trade. And so President Trump, as he always does, stepped up and answered the calls for their help. And he's directed the United States military to guide these stranded ships to safety, to provide a protective bubble under which they can operate and move product and get themselves out of there and out of harm's way. And this is the first step towards reopening the strait and bringing this regime's last-ditch act of economic arson, bringing that to a close. We're doing it not only because we were asked, but because we're the only ones who can. Only we have the power.
Absolutely, dude. And Marco Rubio's a stud, by the way. Marco Rubio is straight up a stud. I love Marco Rubio,
take the steps that we've taken now. Under this president, under President Trump, the United States will help our friends. We're going to stand up to rogue regimes like the one in Tehran, and we're going to be unashamed to use our power and our abilities to project military power in the service of our national interest above all else.
Go Trump
now,
and go Rubio,
what's really important
bro.
for you to report and for everyone to understand is this is not an offensive operation. This is a defensive operation. And what that means is very simple. There's no shooting unless we're shot at first. Okay, we're not attacking them. But if they're attacking us or they're attacking a ship, you need to respond to that. You're not going to let some fast boat come up on a ship and shoot it up. We're going to respond to it, and we've been successful at it. I don't know what the exact number is, but I know a number of those fast boats have now been targeted.
Yes,
and will continue to be if they pose a threat to our forces. We'll shoot down drones, we'll shoot down missiles, but it's defensive in nature. This is defensive. So if you hear stories about attacks and launching of...
No, Rubio's the man, dude. Rubio's the GOAT. Thank you, Lisa, though. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Lisa. The more subscribers we get, the better. But yes, Lisa, subscribe. Eric, if you can, subscribe. All you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys want. Tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Yeah. Okay, how do I act in public, and who the hell are you? If you're saying this is a grift, how do I act in public, and where do I live? If you see me out in public, then you should know where I live. So, okay, what city do I live in? Lisa, were you even subscribed to begin with? I don't even think... Dude, Lisa, I don't even think you were subscribed to begin with. We're at 10,484 subs. I don't think you were even subscribed from the get-go.
Firing back and forth. It's not back and forth. We are only responding if attacked first. This is a defensive operation.
So wait, how am I brainwashed for thinking that Trump is the man? So I think that Trump is the man, and somehow I'm in the wrong? I think that Trump's how am I brainwashed? You're brainwashed. I'm not. I think Trump's the GOAT. You don't. That's fine. I have my opinions, but I'm not brainwashed. Oh, Lisa, I don't really care. Lisa, do you think I give two craps about your opinion? Do you think I give two? You could go the hell away, and I would not give a crap. I don't give two craps about your opinion, Lisa, because if you think I'm delusional, I think you're delusional. I think you're delusional. You want to know why? That's fine. You gave a gift that, okay, I don't really give a crap. I appreciate the gift, but I'm not going to get lectured by some Karen, okay? I'm not going to get lectured by a Karen. Karens are annoying, okay? Allegedly. No, Karens really are annoying. Okay. Lisa, I don't really care what you do. You do you.
And that's what's occurring here. Just about the importance of the Straits for a moment. This is approximately a quarter of the world's oil trade, along with significant volumes of fuel and fertilizer that operate through the Straits of Hormuz. The Iranian regime cannot be allowed to dictate who uses this vital waterway.
Oh, looks like we got another subscriber. We're at 10,485 subs. We're only 15 subscribers away from hitting 10,500. So if you guys can, feel free to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, as it does help the channel grow. Once again, don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Let's roll.
I don't think this is also being reported enough. Maybe you are reporting. I don't read everyone. I don't know many damn outlets here. I don't know who you all are, but I mean, I know who some of you are, but I don't know all of you are. But I will say this about it. This is an international waterway. Okay, this is an international waterway. And international law is very clear, and I love it because everybody always talks about international law, and this international law on this is very clear. International waterways, no country can control them. There is no international law that allows you to say, I'm going to put mines in an international body of water and I'm going to blow up ships that don't listen to us and try to go through. That's what Iran is doing. This is a criminal act. And someone needs to do something about it. Something needs to be done. It's completely illegal, completely illegitimate, and completely unacceptable. And that's why the United States military is guiding stranded commercial ships safely through the strait and is working to restore freedom of navigation and putting an end to these efforts to hold the global economy hostage. So far, as a proof of concept and as a proof of function, 2 U.S. flag merchant ships have successfully transferred the Strait of Hormuz in the first stages of this project, and they're now safely on their way. The U.S. military is deploying the necessary assets to extend this defensive umbrella over commercial shipping. But there should be no mistake. And as I said this already, this is a defensive operation. I want to reiterate that point. This is important to understand. If no shots are fired at these ships and no shots are fired at us, we're not firing shots. But if we're fired on, we will respond, and we will respond with lethal efficiency.
Yeah, dude, Marco Rubio. Dude, Marco Rubio's the man. That's all I got to say. Rubes. No, we love Marco Rubio on this channel. We think he's a stud.
Assets supporting this project, by the way, include guided missile destroyers, over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, multi-domain unmanned platforms, and 15,000 of the finest military service members on the planet. These forces have already destroyed, as I told you earlier, I thought it was 6, it's 7 Iranian fast boats that failed to heed our warnings. And by fast boats, we're talking about, some of these things look like Boston whalers. Okay, so these are not like Navy ships. But nonetheless, they come fast at these boats, try to swarm them, try to harm them. We're not going to let that happen. So 7 of them now sit at the bottom of the sea, along with, by the way, the rest of Iran's Navy. That's where you can find their Navy today. And we're going to continue to systematically clear this passageway through the straits to restore freedom of navigation. Now, while this project steadily progresses, Operation Economic Fury, continues to impose maximum pressure on the Iranian regime and what remains of their already frail economy. Today, inflation in Iran is 70%, and their currency is in total and complete freefall.
Oh, yeah.
U.S. sanctions enforcement is stepping up. It's moving in lockstep.
Good. I mean, this is what Iran deserves. Iran deserves this, man. Only because the Iranian regime has done so many terrible things. They've been the #1 state sponsor of terror. The Iranian government has also executed its own citizens for protesting the existing regime. The Iranian government has also was enriching uranium to near weapons grade. They've done a lot of terrible things. Yeah, so it's just terrible, man. If anybody is siding with Iran on this one, I feel bad for you, man. You're probably a Karen. You're probably a liberal Karen. And you probably go to No Kings rallies, which are a total joke, by the way. But yeah, Iran's terrible. But yeah, I'm not on the side of Iran. If you're on the side of Iran, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Make sure you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, as it does help the channel grow in more ways than one. But thank you guys for taking the time to subscribe. Like I said, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. If you guys think that Trump's the man, I hope you guys subscribe. And yeah, no, we love you guys. I appreciate everybody who's been coming on, and you guys are keeping the show very zesty.
Step with the naval blockade to degrade Iran's capacity to generate, to move, and repatriate revenue. It directly targets the regime's primary revenue lifelines. The blockade alone is costing Iran as much as $500 million a day in lost revenue.
$500 million lost revenue. That's insane. Do you know what that means? Because Iran can't afford to take those losses. Iran cannot afford to take those losses. They're getting screwed, man. But yeah, Iran should not have nuclear weapons, period, end of story. Straight up, period, end of story. What is the highest amount of schooling that I ever achieved? Well, I graduated high school. That's about it. I did a semester of community college and realized it was a waste of time. Yeah, so then I just decided to work and invest. I started investing a little later on in life, but, investing was one of the best decisions I ever made. Investing was one of the best decisions I could have ever made. It really was. Straight up.
Of total Iranian trade has been halted, causing permanent damage to Iran's oil infrastructure as wells are forced to shut in. Again, all of this is in response to their piracy. Okay, it cannot be that you have these straits and they blow up any ship that moves and the only ships that get to go through are theirs. You can't have a situation in which the straits are closed to everyone else, but they benefit from the piracy. That can't happen. That's why the blockade is in place, and that's why these sanctions are crippling them. Any foreign financial, and by the way, Treasury is now identifying and cutting off every dollar of revenue that's flowing to this regime. And so, look, any foreign financial institution or commercial actor that enables Iran's sanctions evasion is going to face secondary sanctions exposure and a loss of access to the U.S. financial system. As President Trump has said, and the facts clearly bear out, the United States of America holds all the cards. There is no scenario here in which if they decide to join a ladder of escalation, they wind up getting the last say. But our preference is for these straits to be opened to the way they're supposed to be opened, back to the way it was. Anyone can use it, no mines in the water, nobody paying tolls. That's what we have to get back to, and that's the goal here. Every day the conflict continues.
Oh, you're good, Harrow. You're good, brother. No, I know you don't agree with me, bro, and I don't really care who agrees with me or not. It doesn't really matter if you agree with me or not, but, Small wiener gang. Lisa, I've been getting, dude, the more you tell me I'm getting less subscriptions, the more subscriptions I get. People are subscribing because they actually like Trump. More people like Trump than you realize, Lisa. Yeah, dude, Lisa, you realize that there's, obviously Lisa's a bot, but you do realize that there are more people who like Trump than otherwise, right? People hate the Democrat Party, and rightfully so. The Democrat Party has been terrible. I still think it's one of the worst parties of all time. Lisa, I don't really give a crap because you're clearly a Karen. And if you're a Karen, I'm not really going to interact with you. I mean, I'm interacting with you now. What's up, everyone? We got Gus Krezios 1143 in the house. My boy. It's your boy. What up, dude? Gift yum yum. Gift yum yum. Hey, thank you, Gus Krezios, for the gold coin for 10 jewels. I appreciate it. And Jason Beatrice, thank you. Thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate you, Brony. Everybody give a shout out to Jason
Sorry,
Beatrice.
Democrats, but we love Trump.
Yeah, we do. We love Trump on this channel. And honestly, Lisa's dissent is making more people want to donate. So keep dissenting,
Gift
Lisa.
yum yum.
I don't mind.
Gift yum yum.
Hey, thank you, Gus. I appreciate all the I appreciate the gold coins. Any gifts you guys want to send, we really do appreciate it. The more gifts we get, the better. It does sustain the channel, keeps the channel going a lot longer than usual, a lot longer than expected. So whatever you guys want to donate, it does really, really help the channel grow in more ways than one. You guys keep this channel afloat. You guys keep this channel rocking. I love you guys. Gift, yum, yum. Gift, yum, yum. Annie, thank you so much for the gift. Annie sent some tulips for 500 joules. Appreciate you, Annie. I'm going to give you a heart. Give Annie a heart here. Thank you for the tulips, Annie. I appreciate it. And by the way, Jason, I want to thank you for the $5 super chat. Hold on. But yeah, Trump's the greatest of all time, brother. Trump is the greatest of all time, dude. The GOAT. Yeah, honestly, I really do think he's one of the best presidents we've ever had, if I'm going to be honest. And I just, there's a lot of haters out there, obviously. Trump is pretty funny, though. Like, whether you love him or hate him, Trump is a funny dude. And there's going to be people who are obviously going to be like, oh, Trump's so evil. Trump is so bad. But, dude, Trump's the man. At the end of the day, Trump is the man. He's one of the funniest presidents we've ever had. And I know there's a lot of people that ET says $1,000. What do you need? I don't need. I just like racking up money, man. So if anybody wants to donate, we're just trying to get I might even try to make that a weekly gift goal. But no, I appreciate you guys. Amazing. Thank you guys for subscribing as well. The more subscribers we have, the better. It really does help the channel. I'm going to replay Jason's super chat real quick.
Laugh out loud. Sorry, Democrats, but we love Trump.
Larson saying, Lisa, you're harassing Garza. Knock it off, yeah? I don't know. You sound kind of like a Democrat bot, though, Lisa. I don't know. Like, you just seem to be going at me. I think you might be woke. I don't know. Maybe Lisa's woke. What do you think, guys? Think Lisa might be woke? If you's woke, use a joke. Give me a moment, you guys. I'm going to drink some pomegranate juice. Hold on. Yeah, I think most Democrats are ashamed to be Democrats, I think. So they really don't know what to do. Because even Bill Maher is ashamed of what the Democrat Party's become, and he's about as left as you can imagine, but he's a classic liberal. And the majority of Democrats today are just out of their bloody mind, in my opinion. Bloody mind. That's my take on it. All right, let's keep going, man. Let's keep rocking.
However, our leverage on Iran will continue to increase, and their position will continue to weaken, especially as the blockade really begins to bite in conjunction with the sanctions. So, look, the time's come for Iran to make a sensible choice. And it's not easy for them to do that, obviously, because they have a fracture in their own leadership system. And apart from that, I mean, the top people in that government are, to say the least, they're insane in the brain. And so we need to address that, and it's difficult because
John Fetterman is ashamed of the Democrats. Absolutely, dude. Honestly, the Democrat Party is embarrassing. The Democrat Party is very embarrassing. This is one of the reasons why I voted Trump, because I thought, when I was younger, I used to swing left when I was really young. I didn't know any better. I was convinced by a lot of leftists that the Democrat Party was the way to go. Turns out the Democrat Party, in my opinion, is one of the worst parties that you could ever be part of. I'm not a fan.
It's hard to get past that in their system, but it's important for them to make a sensible choice and the one that's right for their people. The president, our president, has proven time and again that his preference is peace. But Iran must accept the reality.
That is President Trump's preference. Peace, peace, peace. Peace. But I do want to thank you guys for tapping the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. We're at 10,487 subs. Once again, man, we're at 10,487 subscribers, so don't forget to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. Tiny Lion Gaming says 1K a day. I want to see if I can get 1,000 in a day. I want to see if I can get 1,000 gifts in a day, so I'm going to try to will it by just putting a call to action out there. Larson says Lisa is the best example of why Annie or I should be a mod. I mean, look, I want to make the final judgment on who should be, banned on this channel. I mean, Lisa, you have to do something extreme to get banned on my channel. If you want to disagree with me, fine. But Larson and Annie, as much as I appreciate your guys' opinions, I'm very loose. I like to let the crazies in the chat because it's fun to interact with them. Now, if they start spamming insufferably, like to an insufferable level, I'll usually block their ass. Absolutely. But they have to be spamming at an insufferable level. I'm pretty lenient about a lot of shit. Remember, this is a free speech channel, all right? Lisa, I still think that you're a Democrat. Deep down, I think you have the soul of a Democratic Karen. You have the soul of a Democratic Karen, okay? Annie doesn't want to be a mod. Exactly. Look, I honestly don't really... Well, I don't want to make any mods on here. But no, I don't like banning people. It's just not my MO. I only do it under extreme circumstances. It's got to be really extreme. I don't know, Hero. What do you think? Are you a Democrat? Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. I don't know. If you are, it's your call. It's your life. If you're a Republican, that's your life too. Look, I'm pretty right-leaning. I consider myself an independent for the most part, but I'm really more anti-Democrat than I am any other party. The reason I'm anti-Democrat is just because the party's gone insane. I don't like the direction in which the party's going. Heck yeah. Annie says if it gets bad, we can just let Garza know. Exactly. And I can usually tell if somebody's doing things. Yeah, you don't like what I stand for. That's fine. And yeah, this is what I do, bro.
Of the situation and come to the negotiation table and accept terms that are good for them but ultimately good for the world. The diplomatic path, if there's a real diplomatic path, I'm not sure it's going to be one, but if there's a real diplomatic path and we continue to explore it, Steve and Jared are working on that very hard. If there is one there, it could be one that leads them to reconstruction, to prosperity, and to stability, and to not posing a threat to the world. The alternative is growing isolation, economic collapse, and ultimately total defeat. I know what the right choice is for Iran. I hope that the people over there making decisions will make the right one. The last point I would make, and it really is important for them to understand this, is they really shouldn't test the will of the United States, at least not under President Donald Trump. He has proven time and again that he will back up what he says. And if they test him...
Here's the thing, man. If they test Trump, I mean, I really don't... I don't see a good future for Iran, man. I think at the end of the day, Iran is completely cooked. That's my take on it. I just don't think Iran's got a shot, bro. I don't. Give me a moment, though. I'm just taking a quick glance at my portfolio real quick and been swing trading a bit. And you guys know me, man. I'm a swing trader for life. I love swing trading so much. VTWO. Bitty my titty. Let's see, that's about 2,000. Yep. 3,000. And then pretty much 5,000. Wow. Kicking butt, bro. Kicking butt. I'm considering if I want to sell one more of the VSS. Because we're already up 4% on the VSS. And if VSS were to crash, I could actually cash in on a few more things. Hold on. Market buy. I bought a lot of VSS at low prices. Buy. Don't want to be a fool for you. Just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye. Now, I like my positions currently. They're not bad. Silver's the one I really enjoy swing trading just because it's way more volatile. I appreciate the volatility. It goes violently down and violently up. It's the best part about it. In my opinion, and this is not financial advice. I love swing trading silver so much. Looks like there's a little more short interest in it. So it's a good thing to kind of offload some of your positions when you get a profit, because you never know when people are going to start backing away from a particular commodity like silver. So the smartest thing I could do is just kind of back out of it a little bit.
Ultimately, they will lose. The hard way, the easy way, the long way, the short way, they will lose. And with that, it's time for your questions. So,
Annie says, ignore Lisa before she goes into full meltdown mode in short circuits. Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, you could tell that she's kind of a Karen, but that's okay. Hey, no problem, Mr. Larson Christopher. Just glad to have you on the show for a bit. Have you chatting on the show. I love it, bro. Everybody give love to Larson Christopher, everybody. Have a great rest of the day, brother.
why don't we start with you first?
Hi, Catherine Herridge. I'm an independent journalist. Secretary Rubio, have you seen any recent indications that Iran is willing to give up its nuclear weapons program that is credible, verifiable, and that would lead to an immediate de-escalation?
Well, look, this is a long-standing problem for them, right? I mean, they have wanted, they have always said they don't want a nuclear weapon. That's because they've always said that. They just don't mean it. And why do you say?
Oh, yeah, because the thing is, Iran loves lying to the United States because Iran's government sees the U.S. as the enemy. Of course, the U.S. sees Iran as the enemy because we see right through them. We know that Iran's full of crap, right? We know that Iran is full of it. And so I love Marco Rubio, man. I think Rubes is amazing, dude. I love Rubio. I think he's one of the smartest guys in politics. And you know what? Between him and J.D. Vance, it's tough to choose. I mean, I choose Vance first as the primary nominee, but then again, Rubio could win the primary. I don't know. Jason says, dude, you make me want to swing trade. My best stock of the year is Ozempic. Well, here's the thing. I just want to let you know, I don't swing trade individual stocks. I swing trade ETFs, exchange traded funds. And the reason I do that is, one, I like diversification. Two, I like being able to swing trade the entire price of the entire diversified products, all the products that are in there, all the stocks. So because there's a safety net when you swing trade small cap ETFs versus swing trading a small one or two small cap stocks. But I think I'm not I don't really trust Ozempic, just to let you know. I don't trust Ozempic at all. I just say fucking start exercising, dude. And that's the one thing that pisses me off. I'm pretty sure, unless you have like a thyroid condition or something, I don't trust Ozempic, man. I just don't trust it. But that's not medical advice. Talk to a doctor to do your thing. But yeah.
Hey, well, how do you know they don't mean it? Well, we don't mean it because they're doing all the things, and historically have tried to do all the things that you do if you want a nuclear weapons program. For example, they innovate and try to innovate long-range delivery missiles that now, in some cases, are capable of reaching much of Europe. They build these large underground centrifuges for enrichment activity. There are countries in the world that are involved in the enrichment business, but these guys do it in mountains and in caves and in hiding. They've always had secret components of their nuclear program undisclosed to the world. And
how the hell, dude, Typhoon, you must be the most financially illiterate person I've ever seen. A 4% gain is canceled out by fees, let alone tax. First off, I don't pay any commission fees when I swing trade, just to let you know. 2, you do realize that you're only taxed on your profits, not the entire investment. You are aware of this, right? So when I have a 4% gain, I'm only taxed on the gain. Dude, Typhoon, you are basically a fool. You are a fool. Game Genie says Ozempic, yeah. Yeah, it's honestly, I think that if you do want to lose weight or get fit, just walk 10,000 steps a day. If you can. Well, hold on. How is it canceled out if you cash it out? What do you mean by that? I mean, this is a low IQ take. Typhoon, what is up with your low IQ take? I'm trying to get inside your mind. You do realize that, okay, if I buy Coca-Cola, let's say it's $100 per share. I buy one share of Coca-Cola for $100 and then I sell it for $120. I have a $20 profit. I am only taxed on that $20. I'm not taxed on my initial investment, you fool. How is my gain only on paper when I'm selling the position? When you sell the position, it's called a realized gain. Typhoon, are you trolling? You can't be Typhoon, you're talking to a guy who has studied finance. I have studied a lot of financial shit. I don't know everything and I have gray areas, but I am a hell of an investor. And I'm proud of my ability to invest. Yeah, dude, here's the thing. Capital gains tax does not take all your profits. It doesn't. It takes some of the profits, granted, but not all of it. So what are you talking about, bro? I think Typhoon is an idiot. I don't think he understands investing, and I think he's one of those dudes who probably hides money under his mattress because he's a moron. I'm so sick of dealing with these low IQ Democrats. It's blowing my mind. These low IQ freaking Democrats are killing me. Oh my God. The ghost of you. Gift yum yum. Gift yum yum. Hey, thank you, Annie, for sending a corgi. That is an adorable little corgi. I appreciate that. Everybody give a shout out to Annie for sending a corgi for 1,000 joules. It really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. So, Annie, mucho apreciato. Well, you do realize that you're only taxed on the gains, Typhoon. You're only taxed on your gains. So if you keep that in mind, it's never a problem to make money. You just because you make more money doesn't mean you need to spend it. This is a problem that people have is they change their lifestyle when they get more money. No, you need to double down, in my opinion, on being a little cheaper. The goal is to rack up investments, to stack the papers, stack up the investments, and you'll be fine. Yeah, I think Typhoon's full of crap, dude. I think Typhoon is lying to us, bro. I think he's lying through his teeth. But yeah, no, I think Typhoon's full of it, man. I think he's full of it, bro. I think he's full of it. Taxes are, dude. I hate taxes. I'm not a fan of taxes at all, dude. I understand you have to pay taxes and all that stuff. I get it. But just because you have to pay something doesn't mean you have to like it, you know? It's wild. But yeah, not a big fan of taxes, ultimately. But I want to thank everybody for sending these gifts and super chats and, becoming subscribers, channel members. Tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Let's keep watching Rubes. Let's see what he's doing.
And we know for a fact that they retain highly enriched uranium at 60%, that they did so, and that has no civilian use, none, zero whatsoever. So they have an opportunity here to agree to something that will make it clear that they're not interested in one thing is to say we don't want a nuclear weapon. Another thing is to do the things that prove you don't want a nuclear weapon. By the way, if what Iran wants is a civilian nuclear program for power plants and stuff like that, there are a lot of countries in the world that have that, and they don't enrich. They import the enriched material. They could have that if that's what they wanted, but they're not acting like that's what they wanted. They're acting like they want.
And that's the problem. We don't want Iran to have the ability to enrich it. If they want to purchase the uranium at a certain enrichment grade, sure. But we do not want Iran to have any single ability to enrich the uranium themselves. That's the point. And honestly, in my opinion, I think Iran should have no uranium. Period. End of story. I think Iran deserves none of it. Nothing. Now, I made a lot of money during the pandemic, so. And I hear the voices call, following footsteps down the hall. I will say one of my proudest swing trades is like the biddy. The reason I don't do the S-bid as much anymore is because when it goes down pretty violently. So it's better to have a 1-for-1. If Bitcoin goes up, biddy goes down, obviously. It's the inverse. And I feel that the biddy is one of the safest, in my opinion, one of the safest ways to bet against Bitcoin. Just because Bitcoin is a Ponzi. Allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly, but I think it is. Man, my Intel stock has gone up like crazy from my initial investment, man. That's been one of my better plays. Yeah, my return on Intel stock has been tremendous. Intel is going to be a big name for a while. I mean, with AI booming, I'm glad I held on to my Intel stock. The only thing I regret is not buying more Intel stock, when it was dipping further, because that would have been the smartest move. But I'm okay with it. I live with it. As long as I got exposure to Intel, I'm happy about it, bro. I got a lot of exposure to Intel from my various ETF holdings and stuff. I love it, man.
On a military, nuclear program, that's unacceptable. So that's the process we're engaged in now. To create, that's the object of this diplomacy, is to come up with some level of understanding about what are the topics that they've agreed to negotiate on. We don't have to have the actual agreement written out, and one day this is highly complex and highly technical. But we have to have a diplomatic solution that is very clear about the topics that they are willing to negotiate on and the extent and the concessions they're willing to make at the front end in order to make those talks worthwhile. That's what Stephen Jarrett and the whole team is working on, and I hope to have good news on it. That's the outcome we would prefer. That's the outcome we would have preferred a year ago. That's the outcome I think most of us would have preferred a long time ago. But that's not the option they've given us given their activity. All right, there's no way I can figure out who to call on. I'm just going to press right in the middle, right there, you right there, yeah. Right in the back row.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I'll go to you next. I can't get everyone. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Secretary Rubio.
Keep going right.
Welcome to the White House.
What's that?
Talking to me, sir?
Yeah, to you, yes, sir.
Thank you. I have two questions on two separate issues that come under...
Do they get two questions for these?
Two questions.
There's a lot of people in here.
That fall under your umbrella.
All right, well, you can ask me two questions. I'll give you one answer.
Thank you very much.
And I'll pick the one I like better.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The first has to do with the blockade. There are lawmakers from both parties who claim the blockade is an act of war. What do you say to that? And my second question has to do with the fuel embargo of Cuba. How long, Mr. Secretary, will that last?
Okay, two things. All right, good. I'll answer both your questions because I like the second one too. The first one on the blockade. And so why do we have a blockade? We have a blockade because they shut down the straits. So I don't know which members of Congress you're talking to, but here's what I would ask them. I would ask everybody here. It's very simple. These guys have shut down the Straits of Hormuz. This is what Iran is saying. We will shut down the straits. No one can go through. No country in the world can go through unless we allow you to go through, and you have to pay us.
Yep.
But our ships can go through, meaning the Iranian ships, as much as they want. That's crazy. Who would agree to that? So how are we going to have a situation where they get to close the straits to everybody, and the only people who are allowed to go through there 100% without paying anything are the Iranians? If you do that, they'll keep the straits closed forever.
Yep.
They're trying to make this some new normal.
And that's the crazy thing. We got to stop that. That's the thing. The U.S. needs to stop that. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad the U.S. is doing this. They need to stop Iran from doing that. Iran should have no control over the Strait of Hormuz in any way, shape, or form. It's just the way it is. Iran should have no control of the Straits. Period. End of story. And Rubes is on the right track with his Rubio. First off, Rubio's a stud. He's amazing, dude. Rubio is amazing. One of the smartest guys in the room, man. One of the smartest dudes in that room. And I love Rubes. I think he's a smart cookie. Make sure you guys tap the subscribe button, though, in the upper right-hand corner, as it does help the channel grow.
Okay, under no circumstances can we ever allow them to normalize the fact that they get to blow up commercial ships and put mines in the water. So the response to that is we're going to blockade your ships. If everyone's ships are not getting out, your ships are not getting out either. That's not an act of war. That's a defensive measure. It's a counter to what they have decided to do. You know what is an act of war? Putting mines in the water. Why don't the members of Congress, whoever it is complaining about it, they should be all over that. These guys put mines in the water. That alone, mining in the water is illegal, period, under any circumstances, and they've done it. This is crazy stuff, but this is what they've done. On Cuba, oil blockade on Cuba. There's no oil blockade on Cuba per se. Here's what's happening with Cuba, okay? Cuba used to get free oil from Venezuela. Used to give them a bunch of free oil. They would take like 60% of that oil and resell it for cash. It wouldn't even go to benefit the people. So the only blockade that's happened is the Cubans have decided, the Venezuelans have decided we're not giving you free oil anymore. And you can only imagine nowadays, the way oil prices are, no one's giving away free oil, much less to a failed regime. So the problem with Cuba is worse, okay?
Yeah, I mean, Cuba's screwed, in my opinion, mainly because we took over Venezuela. But, oh, man, I don't know. We shouldn't... I just want the Iran war to be done and over with at this point. You know what I mean? I think that there's going to be some aftermath, obviously, with all this, but the war needs to be over at some point. When will it be over? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Their economic model doesn't work. Doesn't work. And
I think it'll be over soon, though. I will say soon enough.
The people who are in charge can't fix it. And the reason that I can't fix it is not just because they're communists, that's bad enough, but they're incompetent communists.
Well, first off, if you're a communist, being incompetent goes with the territory. If you're a communist, you're most likely an incompetent person. Just saying. Incompetence and communism, they both go hand in hand. Okay.
The only thing worse than a communist is an incompetent one. And that's what, so incompetent.
I mean, all communists are pretty much incompetent, so I mean, that is what's worse, is that all communists are incompetent because they have to rely on the group to feel better about themselves because they're incompetent.
When communists run that country, they don't know how to fix it. They really don't. And we have 90.
Have you noticed that incompetent people tend to be very attracted to communism? Highly incompetent people tend to be highly attracted to communism, straight up. And because they're incompetent, all they want to do is try to control everybody because they don't know how reality works. I don't really believe there's any such thing as a competent communist. I don't.
90 miles from our shores, a failed state that also happens to be friendly territory for some of our adversaries. So it's an unacceptable status quo, and we'll be addressing it, but not today. Okay. All right, let's go to the front, right there.
Secretary Rubio.
Yeah.
You are going to the Vatican to meet with the Pope. Is this an attempt to smooth things over with the Pope, given the rhetoric between President Trump and Pope Leo?
No, I mean, it's a trip we had planned from before, and obviously we had some stuff that happened.
Yeah.
And no, look, there's a lot to talk about with the Vatican. I'll give you one example. The Pope just returned from a trip to Africa, where the church is growing very vibrantly. And we have shared concerns about religious freedom, freedom in different parts of the world. We'd love to talk to them about that. The topic of Cuba, you know, we gave Cuba $6 million of humanitarian aid, but obviously they won't let us distribute it. We distributed it through the church. We'd like to do more. We're willing to give more humanitarian aid to Cuba, by the way, distributed through the church, but the Cuban regime has to allow us to do it. They won't allow us to give their own people more humanitarian aid. and we're willing to do it through the church. So there's a lot to talk about.
And the president recently said that the Pope is endangering a lot of Catholics as a result of his rhetoric.
Hey, baby. What up? I'm almost done streaming here in a second. But we're going to watch the last part of this clip, and then we'll call it good. I'll catch you guys probably a little bit later. I'm going to be playing a little bit of cards tonight with my boy. But probably not too late, though, because I got to help my dad first, and then my boy gets off work at, let's see, 5. Yeah, I'll have plenty of time to live stream later. But let's keep going.
Around the Iran war. Is that a sentiment?
Well, I don't think that's an accurate description of what he said. I think what the president basically said is that Iran can't have a nuclear weapon because they would use it against places that have a lot of Catholics and Christians and others for that matter. It goes back to the central point. I think the president, without trying to speak for him, but I think I can characterize it this way. He doesn't understand why anybody, leave aside the Pope, the president, and I, for that matter, I think most people, I cannot understand why anyone would think that it's a good idea for Iran to ever have a nuclear weapon. Look what they're doing with the Straits right.
Yeah, I could agree with that completely. Absolutely. Before we end the stream, I do want to look at the comments real quick. We'll see if there's any fun comments. And let's see. No, just well, there's some good comments here. Hold on. And E.T. says, I too like to open the fridge and not grab anything. Absolutely. What a beast. Well, on a final
Gift,
note,
yum, yum. Gift, yum, yum.
Hey, thank you, Leap 7 in for the gold coin for 10 jewels. Very hot. We appreciate gifts on this channel, obviously, and thank you guys for supporting the channel in any way you can. Just a simple act of tapping the gift button and sending a gift, it really does help. You guys are unreal. But thank you guys for subscribing more so. The subscriber count keeps jumping up, and we're currently at 10,488 subs. Once again, 10,488 subscribers. I love it, man. I love it. You guys are keeping the channel alive. You guys are keeping it growing, and yeah, we appreciate it big time. Thank you, Annie. Everybody have an incredible rest of the day. And I'm trying to think what time I can't guarantee what time I'll be streaming tonight, but I'll say, let's just say 8 or 9 Pacific Standard Time, I think. It's a good assumption. I know I got to do a little bit of dishes at some point today, so I'll probably end up doing dishes before I end up streaming tonight. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No promises on when, but we'll see.